the spice, Drew. The spice melange.
Of course,
I
the
do have a
spice
hat on.
melange.
It's snowing really hard out actually now.
Andy is home. Minnesota has snow, so he is doing a purple people eater impression. Apparently, you can hear me, right, Andy?
Oh yeah, I can hear you fine.
I assume you're purple in spirit of the Ravens, whose teaser leg is in jeopardy, which is absolutely insane.
It is insane.
It's fundamentally insane, and honestly, the like, there's nowhere else to start. Let's get started. There's nowhere else to start, but like, what was the plan here? What was the plan? It is 6-3 Dolphins. Ravens are lucky it's 6-3. Realistically, it should probably be 10-6 Dolphins. But the Ravens are running some of the most hapless offense I can remember from this team. The third down play calling is like waving a white flag on third down. Like they might as well just punt on some of these third downs. A lot of wide receiver screens, some very predictable wide receiver screens. You can just tell by watching the motion, by kind of gauging sort of the body language of the players and watching Lamar Jackson, because he's like looking at the wide receiver as he's taking the snap, as he's winding up. Like he's not fooling anyone. Like maybe they're setting something up big in the second half here, and they were just trying to get to halftime healthy after a very physical matchup against the against the Vikings this last weekend. But man, this was a rough watch. We are all stupider having watched this half of football. Did you have any major takeaways from what you've seen in Miami?
Yeah, somebody just said they should reopen first touchdown score. I mean, some books have next touchdown score, still just first touchdown score. This has been a rough hang, and a lot of it
has been a rough hang.
It's been a rough hang, and I blame the Ravens. Like, what are they trying to reinvent themselves during a game versus a? It's not the worst rush defense in the world. Like, but you're a running team. Let's just run the ball, guys. Let's not get super weird with this. Dance with who brung ya, and the wide receiver screens ain't it. Like that's not what you need to be doing. That's not your mode of success. I'm not in a cave. I'm in my car. It started snowing super hard. I was outside and things got nasty in a hurry. See, I got the hat on tonight even, but the shitty tackling by Baltimore. I'm surprised they're not down. Like they've let two drives get down there on honestly that jump ball to Shaheen, that was pretty nice. And I didn't watch much this last drive, but the shitty tackling defense, the fact that they only put up 3 points and they're not in worse shape than this is pretty impressive.
That's a fair point.
The third downs have been awful. Like just all awful. The third downs have been awful.
Might as well have just punted on a lot of that. Man, there's a part of me that so if you're saying a armchair psychologize these fuckers, why are they doing what they're doing? My guess is they put together a vanilla game plan, and for the short week, and they're like, let's just see if this works. If it works, we get a win. We don't really fire our bullets. That's nice. That's a double win for us. We win and we don't expose a bunch of our shit, and our guys don't get hurt, and we're not really asking much. That's not working. They're going to have to make some adjustments to halftime. They're going to have to get more aggressive. This is not a sustainable approach in terms of winning this game. In fact, if they come out and we see more of the same, like the Ravens are conceding the loss, which is tough to wrap your head around. But a couple stats for you here. And actually, one more thing I wanted to note about this game. The pressure that the Ravens were generating on Brissett throughout the majority of the first half worked spectacularly. You know who sucks under blitz pressure? Jacoby Brissett. They know that now. I would expect they continue to ramp that up in high leverage moments. The blown coverage is what it is. The Ravens do that from time to time. That's what you get for being aggressive with the blitz. Sometimes you hang your guys out on you hang your guys out to dry, and if they make some small mistake, they're screwed. I think they will live with that. But Jacoby Brissett has been poor under pressure so far. So I think the Ravens continue to blitz. And I think they have to ramp up some of the aggressiveness on offense. To this point, the Ravens have 132 total yards to the Dolphins 168. Most of the Dolphins 168 came on the pass play to Isaiah Ford. That was 52 yards. Amazingly. Pretty clean game so far. Not a ton of penalties. Each team penalized once. Maybe, keep an eye on this, maybe a note went out to the referees this week after what we saw on Monday Night Football to cool it with the old, influencing the game thing. That has, not that I've seen plays that would have been called otherwise, but there haven't been a ton of penalties called. There was the 1 10-yard penalty in the red zone for the Dolphins that basically ensured they would get a field goal, not a touchdown. But realistically, it has been a clean game. No turnovers so far. The Ravens had a little bit of fumble luck. Marquise Brown fumbled, and Bateman very wisely dove on it. The real mystery for me is why aren't we targeting Mark Andrews more? Mark Andrews has 2 receptions for 28 yards. Both of his catches were easy first downs. That's a matchup that is worth it, going back to. I don't know why they're not. And they haven't tried anything deep really at all. I don't even know what the deepest target from Lamar in this game was, but it surely didn't happen in the last 2/3 of the first half.
The deepest target was Sammy Watkins in the end zone where he just gave up on it. He saw that goalpost coming and he's like, ain't having it.
Yeah.
That ball landed with the arc. It still landed inbounds. Rough scene. That should have been, I didn't have a first touchdown score. I'm like, whatever. Didn't want that.
I feel silly. I feel like I should have looked at the Ravens being tired too. Ravens are clearly showing some signs of the fact that they ran as much offense as they did 4 days ago. Miami will start the ball with the second half. Jacoby Brissett has been unspectacular in this game. He's only been sacked once. He is 11 of 22. A lot of those incompletions were throwaways or plays that really had no chance of succeeding. But he's averaging 7.1 yards per completion. I really just want I've just seen enough wide receiver screens from the Ravens. That's predictable. The Dolphins know it's coming. They're prepared for it. Anything more sophisticated or interesting or effective would be appreciated here.
I do kind of look like the Phil Collins video.
Yeah, it's true, man. What do you think the right angle of attack here is for the second half? The line currently Ravens -6.
Game. I don't know.
This is there will be more points scored in the Miami Heat game than the Miami Dolphins game. Of that, I am relatively confident. Totals 21.5. That's a little low. I think we can expect some adjustments here from the Ravens offensively. They run something a little more aggressive. I almost am inclined to take this 21.5. We'll regress towards the closing total. The pregame market, was there any late steam here on the total? I know there was late steam on the Ravens, which looks hysterically laughable in hindsight. What did you see on the total? It closed 47. Shit, man, this over got bet into the close. Should we just take over 21.5?
Let's take, nothing's been working in the second half. It's been a while since last time a second half worked. It was when I was in San Diego out there in the Jets game. Well, to be fair, I really did like the Titans +8, and
you did.
That one did come through. So God bless.
We should have played the points in that one.
Yeah, a bit of a contrarian over here. Just, I think Miami's had a couple drives where they've driven down. If Miami is able to cash one in, I think I be Ravens team total. See if they just come out with good plays in the second half.
We got to go over 21.5. And honestly, I think the Ravens are on upset alert in this game. I think the Dolphins might win. I think because again, going back to sort of how physical and how difficult that matchup was against the Minnesota Vikings, that's gonna, the Ravens defense was super aggressive in the first half of this game. Like, they weren't taking it easy whatsoever. They were pushing hard. They were playing aggressively. I would look for a potential upset here. Dolphins are going to score. Ravens should force them. That should force them to get more aggressive. Let's take over 21.5. I think that's the play.
All right.
Let's see what the market says. I haven't really been watching.
Good idea with Miami money line third quarter plus 168. Didn't hate that look.
Miami money line is only plus 168
in the third quarter.
Oh.
He said they start with the ball in the third quarter. Hunter B says, I guess I'm riding with the captain. I don't hate that. Ravens money line, probably Clippers money line.
Interesting. That's an interesting call because I do realistically like this. The Raven, like I'm like the Ravens defense has fired a lot of bullets. They really have, and this is a team that's been on the field a lot in the last 6 days. So, yeah, this could get sideways on them real quick. You know what? Fuck this. God damn it. My accounts. I can't get my accounts open. What the fuck?
Hold on.
Internet's taking a shit on me over here for getting onto my betting accounts. I can't get down on this. I want this over 21.5, but it's there we go. All right, finally. I was timing out, like on fucking fiber. Ridiculous. All right. It's up to 23.
Ravens have been a better second half team as well. So
I'm going to play over 23 at plus 102. I think that's the right look here.
And Brett's giving me shit about that. I told him, Brett, I guess, is coming to Minneapolis. I think he's going to like WrestleMania or something weird. But
well, that's cool.
I told him the snow is going to stay sore. This isn't going to stick. It's just shitty out. It's like sleety.
Beat the shit out of the closing line on the Clippers tonight, so that's probably going to lose. What else is going on in the wide world of sports, man?
Jacoby Brissett is a nice guy. He's very Harold Varner the third-esque. I don't know. My golf didn't do too bad today. Like nobody except Harold Varner absolutely shat. I had a couple guys. Johnny Vegas shot 3 under through 13 before they called it. I got him at like 60, I think.
Okay.
I don't know what they're called. OBJ got a job. Cam got a job.
Let's talk about OBJ. Okay, first and most important question. Does this make sense? What the fuck are the Rams doing? Like, Van Jefferson is not better than OBJ right this moment? Am I crazy?
So, and here's the thing. And I said this to you in the DMs. I said, he left Cleveland for kind of the same reason that Deshaun Jackson left the Rams. And now he's going to the Rams to like fill in for the Deshaun Jackson role where he's just going to pout again. Like go deep a bunch, draw some coverage and let the real wide receivers do business. Yeah, good luck.
Also, like,
did any of that come through?
If you were going to like, okay, so the Rams have now made moves to get, they got damn it, I'm blanking. Who's the pass rusher from Denver that they got last week who we haven't seen yet?
Von Miller.
Made a move, got Von Miller. They now go OBJ. They're accumulating stars. But I don't really think either of those two positions were really roles or parts of the team that they really ought to have addressed to be resilient for a playoff run. Like, I guess, let's pretend real quick that the NFC playoffs is Bucks 1 seed, Rams 2 seed, Packers 3 seed, Cowboys 4 seed. And then the wild cards are Saints 5, Cardinals 6, Falcons 7. Rams get the Falcons. Whoever gets that 7th spot, that's an easy win. They move on to the next round. They will host the 3 seed Packers probably. Does Von Miller or OBJ help you beat the Packers?
Here's a better question. Does Tua coming in help this over? Because Brissett's done.
No. It doesn't at all.
I think it's a net neutral, honestly. Like they're the same.
Tua may be a little bit better under pressure, which is what the Ravens are trying
Ooh,
to do.
Patrick. Tua has a bit of experience coming in mid-game. Call back to a college championship. They should call Watson at halftime here. They should have. All right, I'm not going deep into overtime. I'm holding my phone up in a car, just mad at the internet right now, and getting snowed on. I don't even know what you asked. I was reading.
You should
comments.
show the people some snow at least. The question I had for you was Von Miller and OBJ. Do these acquisitions make sense for the Rams trying to ultimately win a Super Bowl?
Von Miller does. The OBJ thing makes no sense to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Is this more of like OBJ wanted to go there so bad and that he kind of dictated this, or what?
Something like that. Like he kind of, he kind of made a point of saying, here's the teams I'm thinking about. But yeah, bringing in a bad locker room guy who has been jettisoned twice now. You're not the Patriots. You're not going to fix everybody.
Give me a probability on these three outcomes. You ready?
All right.
And then we'll wrap this pod. OBJ becomes a meaningful player for the Rams in terms of snaps and OBJ becomes a meaningful player for the Rams in terms of snaps and targets.
Okay.
OBJ is the fourth wide receiver on this team that is really only used in emergencies and just kind of sits on the bench and plays out the string. OBJ is unhappy with his role and ultimately does not finish the season with the Rams.
Probably a good combination of B and C. Like C because of B. I don't think he's like a true fourth, but he's just more of a role player. Like they're using him for specific stuff, and he probably does become unhappy, but winning helps that.
Did the Rams do this just to keep OBJ from the Packers?
Somebody, I think it was Brett Coleman made the joke about OBJ is just waiting to see who wins between the Packers and Seahawks, which made me laugh. But I don't know, like it seemed like LA really went after him. A couple teams did. I don't understand why he was a wanted commodity.
I think that's curtains for Brissett tonight, but that was a sprain.
Yeah, I think he
tore
his knee
later this season. Didn't look like an ACL tear, but maybe it was. All right, man. Well,
just walked it off, I guess.
We'll wrap it up. We'll call it a short overtime. I'll talk to you on Sunday
from the office where the camera works
for Raiders chefs. You didn't make a play on that one, huh? Yeah. I know you were leaning Raiders.
I'm gonna play Chiefs 2.5.
Oh, you are? After all this?
I'm with it. I'm hipping now. I'm with you.
They just have to win. If they win by less
than baby.
2.5, I'll be. I mean, it's gonna have to take exactly a very specific scenario for that to happen. So,
no secret pod between now and then, HL. But I think we will have a bonus pod next week with a super nerd.
Oh, we actually have to talk about that. It may not. We gotta. I gotta note that may not work out the day we had it planned. So we'll have to pick another day. But that super nerd pod is coming.
Super nerd pod coming. Put it in your calendars.
Yeah, Pedro.
Undetermined thing.
We're drinking like a little Napa Red tonight.
We don't know what day it is, but it's coming.
Ooh, this is a good one. This is a nice Cabernet forward blend that is outstanding.
How are the tannins?
This was a very drinkable one. The secret to buying cab for California, in my opinion, is the real premier winemakers. They've got a couple of our over's not looking great, by the way.
Never is.
No, it's not. There are some hardcore cabs that are not drinkable when you buy them. You have to wait many years. Those winemakers usually have sort of secondary labels that are $20, $30 price point that are drinkable when you buy them, and they're fucking amazing. I think this one's 18. I'll come up with a couple of those next time we talk.
You're drinking an 1862? It's gonna be vinegar by now.
1858, I believe, is the name of this one. It's made by the winemakers who make Camus. You've heard of Camus, right?
Sure.
Those guys also make this off-label brand called 1858. That's fucking great.
I'm gonna pretend I have.
Who's my favorite NBA player? Oh my God!
All right, Sid.
What a question.
See you guys.
Giannis Antetokounmpo.
No, don't say that.
Why? He's the fucking best.
Care for his attitude.
Giannis? All right. Well, let's wrap. Dan, hit the end.